Hi, creating a histogram could be a challenge, but however the histogram is very helpful for quality managers. Using histogram you could better understand your data. Whether do you have a data above the average or below the average? What's the majority of the data? Is it above or below? So it will give you an understanding for your data, a better understanding for your data, and it will help you to share this information with managers, top management, and help you in the presentation as well. Let's take an example, question 6, and how we could create a histogram. Working in a call center is not an easy job. As customers contact the center, the employees must access a variety of computer screens in order to answer customers' questions. The call center Six Sigma team is very interested in how long calls typically last. Use the following information for length of time of call to create and interpret a histogram. As you see, there's data listed here. 4 calls lasted for 1 minute, 15 calls lasted for 2 minutes, 34 calls lasted for 3 minutes, etc. What we need to do, we need to create a histogram. First thing, as I explained in the discussion, you have to go through these steps. Step number 1, and there are so many ways for creating a histogram. As long as you are happy with your conclusion, as long as you have a graph to share with upper management, that's okay. There's no strict opinion on how to create a histogram, but I'm sharing with you the best way and the easiest way to create a histogram. Number 1, find the range. We have 1 minute all the way to 12. 12 minus 1, that would be 11. That's the range. That's the range. Second, find the number of intervals, and you could find the number of intervals by finding the square root of the sample size, which is you have a 12, and then the square root would be 3.46. And then the width, you find the width by dividing the range by the intervals, and those will give you about 3.18. I'm going to use 3 as the width for each interval. Okay, now the next step is to create the categories, the intervals. And again, I'm using a template, the same template that I shared with you guys. It's from the internet, and you need to adjust it and change it as you need. So first thing, you make sure to delete the title and give it a new name. So this is histogram for question number 6. Okay, so as I mentioned, the next step would be creating the categories, the intervals from 1 plus 3, that from 1 to 4, that's category number 1, and you do the summation. How many of these, based on these frequency, how many calls is in between 1 and 4 minutes? And I found would be 53, and I use the sum function here. And then between 4 and 7, you will find 83 calls located in that category. And 7 to 10 would be 115, and 10 to 13 would be 21. And then once you put the frequency, the Excel will create the chart for you, and I think it's ready. Now what you need to do is just to look into the chart and have an interpretation for the chart. As you see, majority of the calls, at least this is the one thing that I could say about the chart, the majority of the calls between 7 and 10. This is, as you see, we have 115 calls is in this category, and then the next would be from 4 to 7. So this will give you an idea on how you could tell your story by using this chart. I think that's I'm done for this question. If you have any more questions, please let me know. I hope this is helpful. Have a good weekend, and I will take a look into your work on D12. Thank you.